define sliding filament theory of a muscle contraction. So students, let us learn about the sliding filament theory of muscle contraction. So how muscle contraction takes place. And this is explained by a theory called sliding filament theory. So before that, let us recall the structure of a sarcomere. So the sarcomere is present on the myofibrils. So this has got alternative light and dark bands. The light bands are called actin. So they are present in the I band, and the dark bands are called myosin filaments. They are present in the anisotropic band or A band. So actin is a thin contractile protein present in the light band, whereas myosin is a thick contractile protein present in the A band. There is a certain region on the A band where only myosin is present, and this region is called H zone. Now, the actins are attached to the Z lines of the sarcomere, and myosins are attached to the M lines of the sarcomere. So, you can see the actin is attached to Z lines and myosins are attached to the M line. This is the structure. So, when a muscle undergoes contraction, the actin which is present here will slide into the H zone. As it slides into the H zone, the length of the sarcomere reduces and it contracts. So, this is a relaxed muscle. In the relaxed muscle, the length of sarcomere is bigger when compared to the completely contracted muscle, where the length of the sarcomere has been reduced. And this reduces due to the movement of the actin into the H zone or the anisotropic band. So, it has moved into the anisotropic band. So, let us see how this occurs. So, when a muscle is contracting, the myosin filaments have two binding sites. One for the ADP, the other for the myosin binding site which is present on the actin. So, this region. So, it has got binding sites for two things. Once the ATP binds to the head of the myosin, it raises up and attaches itself to the myosin binding site which is present on the actin filament, and a cross bridge is formed. There is a connection formed between the actin and the myosin filament. This is called cross bridge. And next, another ATP binds to the myosin head. It is hydrolyzed to ADP and phosphate. Energy is released. This energy bends the myosin head further. It bends towards the H zone. When it bends towards the H zone, it will pull the actin filament towards the H zone, and therefore it says that the actin slides into the H zone, or the actin has been pulled into the H zone, reducing the size of the sarcomere. So, this process keeps on repeating until the sarcomere completely contracts, and this process is called sliding filament theory. As all the sarcomeres contracts in the myofibril, the complete size of the myofibril reduces. So, this we call it as muscle contraction. So, here we can see the myosin head forms a cross bridges. So, this is the cross bridge formed by the myosin head. And the Z line which is attached to the actin filaments are pulled, leading to the shortening of the sarcomere. So, these Z lines are pulled towards the center, leading to the shortening of the sarcomere. And therefore, the H zone will disappear. So, there is no H zone, it completely disappears in the contracted sarcomere. So, this whole mechanism we call it as sliding filament theory.